I'm Jane Evans. I'm Henry Evans' wife. As I reflect back to 20 years ago when we were at the GSB, we've taken quite a journey. In 1989, we headed out to Stanford with our firstborn, Stephen, who was 5 months at the time. In 1990, Nicholas was born. So Nicholas was our Stanford baby. And we were very busy. You probably, if you didn't do a whole lot with Henry at that time, it's because we had 2 little kids. And basically, we were very, very busy. Our life was going great. And then on August 29, 2002, Henry was having a headache, but insisted on driving the kids to school. And he came up the hill. We live so high up Pagemore Road, we're almost on Skyline. He came up Pagemore Road and walked in the house hanging on to the hallway. And you could tell he was completely disoriented, and his speech was so slurred. And he kept saying, I just need to sleep, I just need to sleep. He just hated doctors and hospitals and didn't want to go. And I'm watching him saying, now there's something really wrong here, buddy. So I got him in the car, I got him to crawl, because at this point he was so disoriented. And when we got to the emergency room, it really took us a week to know what had happened. And what had happened was Henry had had a basilar artery dissection. It's an artery in the brainstem, and it's so rare, and he wakes up and he's completely paralyzed and mute. How to B-R-E-A, how to breathe. And H, 3 years. T, to learn how to eat. Yeah. Took him 6 months to learn how to breathe and 3 years to learn how to eat. That's right. It was a whole change for the whole family, as you can imagine. There was no preparation for this. You can't even imagine it. The day you marry your spouse, you definitely don't imagine it. But I think one of the hardest things we went through, and it was in Montana, was Henry didn't want to live anymore. I knew what he was talking about, and I said, Henry, you're so normal for feeling that way. The biggest challenge you have is, what am I going to do with my life? And I said, you have been so blessed with examples with Christopher Reeve, Stephen Hawking, these people that could lie in bed and cry their whole lives about, and the whole world would get it. But what do you want to do with your life? It took me, what do you think, 3 years? 3 years? 3 years, I would say. And he got a purpose. He's been going gangbusters now for the handicap world. So it started with laser finger. He contacts his friend that's an engineer and says, Chris, I have this idea with lasers, that if I point a laser, I'll get a TV started, I can turn on lights, just environmental controls. Chris said, look, Henry, I am working with the robotics team here at Pali. I think this would be a great project for them. Well, then MIT has what they call a Lemelson project, and this is money given to high school kids who invent things. So next thing I knew is Henry saying, we're going to MIT with the kids, we're going to, present this laser finger, and they were so inspired by him that they made an award now in his honor that's given out every year, an Inspiration for Innovation Award. So that was the first step. And now, if you Google Henry Evans Quadriplegic, you'll see how busy he is. Typical example. Last October, he's watching TV, and on CNN, they were showing this guy that has a PR2 robot to help people around the house. And Henry says to me, why can't that be an extension of my body? Googles PR2 robot, finds out it's being made in Menlo Park, and says, Jane, I contact the CEO, we need to go down to the Willow Garage and go see this robot. And so Henry gets all involved with them. They introduce him to this great professor at Georgia Tech, and they said, Henry, where have you been all our life? And he said, having a stroke.
We call this project Robots for Humanity. When Henry was 40, he suffered a brainstem stroke, which left him unable to move his limbs or speak. Henry saw a PR2 on CNN and wondered whether it could help him. We have been working with him ever since to develop tools and interfaces that allow him to control the PR2 and to use it for his daily activities.
It's so neat to see him going on with his life. I think it's very normal when you go through a tragedy to focus in on yourself and say, look what's happened to me. I can't talk. I'm locked in my body. I can't walk. I can't even sit up. To going to say, look what I can do. A lot of neat things happening, and he's enjoying life. He's really enjoying life.